Welcome to part 2 of our SQL introduction videos, which encompasses all of chapter 7, and a good chunk of chapter 8. I want to emphasize that SQL is really very simple. There's very good guidelines. Again, W3 Schools is an excellent source for getting information from it. At the end of the last video, I will go over that site just to show you how user-friendly and how helpful it is. Many examples that I've used in this tutorial are actually from W3 Schools SQL. So basically, we're looking at order by, which is another name for sort. However, the SQL word for it is order by. If you use sort, it won't work. You have a whole bunch of people living in Miami, and if you started putting a select from Miami, where city is Miami, it's going to bring everybody up. You're looking for somebody named Jones, and there's 1,000 records. You have to stand there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, one at a time looking for it. Or you can just order it by. So it's really very easy, and you can do it by either ascending or descending. If you do not put ascending in or descending in, it will default to ascending. So to just do it, all you're going to do is select column 1 and column 2, whatever columns you want from the table, and then you're going to order by whatever column that you want, or columns. So if you wanted to order, you have a whole database of customers, you can order by city and then by last name. So you do order by city, comma, last name. So here is a example of select star. The star means give me all of the fields. And be careful that if you have a table that has 100 different fields, it's going to be rather challenging from you if you put that in a report. So we're going to do select from customers, and we're going to order by country. And this is what it looks like. So you're seeing all of the fields, and you can see the country is in alphabetical order. If you wanted it in reverse order, you just put in DECS in here. So you can see that here it is, and then we're employee name. We're ordering it by there. So it's Dan, Penny, Raj, and Sheldon. If we wanted it descending, we would just order and put the DESC in there, and you can see that the order there is reversed. So then we have numeric functions. Now, if you're familiar with Excel, you should be familiar with count, av, and sum. The count just gives the total number of records that qualify. Average gives you the average. Of course, you're going to use that for numeric, and sum adds in, and you would add numeric in there. So count gives you the number of rows that matches specific criteria. You wanted to know how many people are in each specific department. You could just do count for that and get that. So here we have select count, column name from table where condition is. So we have select count product ID from product. So basically we're going to count the number of in product IDs. So it will physically count how many are there. Average again, and sum we talked about. So you have links also as well on the first slide. And basically average is the same thing. You're just using AVG instead of count. Sum, you're using sum instead of count or AVG. Min and max, right over here, you want to know the minimum and the maximum. Again, these are functions that are in Excel in that little E with the drop down arrow. Min gives you the smallest. So if you want to know the smallest age, you could do min age or max age for the largest age. So here is the syntax. Select min, whatever column from table name, where, if you want a condition, it returns the smallest value. And again, same thing. We have select min price. Now, notice the as smallest price. That's what's called an alias. All that means is name the column smallest price when the query is completed. And then you're going to put from products, and you can see down here it says smallest price. It doesn't say price, it says smallest price, and it just gives you the 2.5. Likewise, if we want to do the max and we have largest price, so notice that it says largest price. You can combine functions in here, and again, we have an alias of min hours and max hours. So what we want to know is we want to know the min as min hours, the max as max hours, and the average as average hours from project where the project ID is number sent. So we want to know exactly what's going on here. So it's really very simple. Notice that we're combining three separate things. We do not have to use the as. It just makes it a lot easier for you to determine what is what because they're all going to say hours. So your group row over here allows you to group values in here. So if we want to make sure that we have it all listing in a nice order, we're going to use the group. So the syntax is select the column names from table. Of course, you put your condition, and you're going to group by column, either name or names, and you're going to order it by. So here's an example. Select count of customer ID and country from customers. Now we're going to group by country. So let's see what that looks like. Look at this. Let's go back again. We're doing the count of the customer ID and the country. So we're going to display only two fields, and we're grouping it by country. So that means there's 3 in Argentina, 2 in Australia, 2 in Belgium, and so on. It looks like USA has 1 with 13 coming in. Germany and Ireland is going to be 11. Now let's go back and see if we ordered anything. Okay. If we ordered everything, it would have a specific order. This happens to be in alphabetical order as it is. So again, we have select count customer ID country in here, order by count of customer ID descending. So that looks a lot crazy, but it's really very simple. We're grouping by country, and we're just ordering by count. So we want to know who has the most people. And obviously, USA still wins. So you can see that it is now in descending order. And you can give the function a name. So we have count as number of employees, which we talked about before in the previous slide, and group by department ID. So it just creates an alias to make it look a little bit nicer. Having clause allows filter of category results. You cannot use the where. In other words, give me a list of all the customers where the salesperson is a certain salesperson. Cannot use where. Here you're going to use having. So you're going to select in here from table, then you're going to group by having the condition and order by. So you'll see an example of it. So we have select count customer ID country from customers. We're grouping by. So now we have to use country, and we have to use having. So we're grouping by country. Having, we want to know where all the customer IDs is greater than 5. And then we're going to order by count and customer ID descending. And here you can see it over here. So we have having count customer ID is greater than 5. And it doesn't actually give you the customer ID. It gives you the department ID and the number of employees. Joins. We talked about joins in another chapter. I'm going to review it in here. Mostly we're using inner join for the relations. So I want to do a listing of a whole bunch of fields, say employee ID, employee name, and then maybe you have a salesperson name. So you're going to have a listing of all the salespeople in a separate file, but the sales file will have a link and relation in there. That's a join, and you'll see exactly how that works. So the word relation is important. You have to have a relation to have a join in here. So we have natural join, equi join, theta join. We're going to basically use a natural join. So again, we talked about inner join. So we're going to select column names from table and inner join table 2. And then you are going to, on table 1, column name equals column 2. And they're going to basically be the same thing. So here is an example. We have an order table and a customer table. So obviously we have a customer ID in both tables. So let's see what our join may look like. So we have select orders, orders.ordered.id. Notice that you need to put the table name dot, customers, last name, customer, or the order date from orders. Now you're inner joining the customers on where the order ID equals the customer's customer ID. So we take care of that. It gives you this exactly right here. And here's another thing. This is in the book over here. So you can see you have two tables over here, and you have to have some kind of field that is common in both, which is agent code and agent code. So you're selecting customer.custname, agent, and here, inner join on customer.agent code equals agent.agent code. Again, I want to emphasize I'm not a big fan of using the exact same name. I would use in the customer file, I would use cust underscore agent underscore code. Outer join is really not as hard as it seems. So you have two types, a left and a right. The left yields all of the rows in the first table, including those that don't have a matching table, kind of like an intersection. The right in there, or kind of like a union rather. But not from the right table as well. Right use just the exact opposite in here. Here's your syntax. So we have a left join on table or a right join on table. So again, this is going to return all records from the customer table, even if there is no match in the orders table. See, obviously I spelled even quite wrong. So then the right outer join is the same, and I have slides that show exactly how that works, which is right here. So you're going to have all of the rows in table 1, and the ones that intersect are going to be there because they're in table 1, and we don't care about table 2. So we get everything that's in table 1 plus whatever rows in table 2, but they're not going to be duplicated. Then we have the right over here is exactly the same. So then we have a review, which I will have in my very last video. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I will hopefully see you shortly.